Hello, it's me again. For your CC3, good work, and thank you for giving a little longer of a video. You know, we always want that kind of 15 to 20 minutes. So, sweet spot. You guys have a nice flow. I like your prompts, all of that. I would, though, if you can, try and make it so he isn't able to see himself in the camera. It seemed to be a little distracting. Much easier said than done sometimes. Let me know if you need some ideas on ways to be creative on how to kind of block that screen out or turn the phone around or whatever. And yeah, overall, you know, the main thing I would focus on is his posture. A lot of the times he had his hand, he was kind of holding his arm up, or he was resting on his elbow, and you always want that straight back and no elbow resting, no holding the elbow, none of that. Don't forget, you don't have to be shy lifting up your other hand for gestural prompts. And remember that when you are starting out a session, I would just do a couple spell onlys at the beginning, and once your client has, you know, warmed up and is doing those spell onlys with very little mispokes, then just go into greens for the remainder of the lesson, unless they become super dysregulated, or unless they're really, really young or very busy, tricky bodies. But for the most part, spells are just 2 to 4 words to warm up, and then greens for the remainder, because that's where you guys will build. And I always, you know, try and stick with about 3 to 4 questions after each reading chunk, and then read just so it has a nice flow. Give yourself a break, give him a break. Be mindful of, instead of physically touching his arm to go back down, just try thinking of different body prompts and supports and ways that you can coach his body to get into the position and the optimal spelling thing that you need. And yeah, there was, I think, kind of in the middle or towards the end, you were doing a spell and he went really fast, which you always think is great, and it is great, you know. I mean, he did it, but that's why we always say when you have those really, really fast pokes, that's kind of comparison to that unreliable scripty speech, like the super duper fast. Granted, even if it's accurate, that is more unreliable, and you want those slow and steady, purposeful pokes. So if you're asking a bunch of spells later in the lesson and he's just going super duper fast, it's because it's just already in there and drilled in there as like a motor thing, and we want to keep, you know, challenging him cognitively and motor wise and feeding his brain. So no need to do any more spells, and work on those greens. And then yeah, again, I'm just gonna kind of write 20 out of 40 as the score for this, because also typically in these videos I like going through your reflection and answering the questions that you had. But I do not have the reflections here. So once you're able to turn that in, I will adjust your score and we'll go from there. Thanks.